Good morning, welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Connes. We're going to be discussing issues to do with the burning of schools and whether we have an addiction issue or whether it's even related in the first place. To join me in that discussion is a gentleman who is a guru in matters addiction. He is from the goinghome.com trusts. Help me welcome David Ogot. Karibu sana.
Hey, asante. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. People are still saying that.
Hey, happy Valentine's.
I'm
a happy
That's
birthday.
funny. That's
Happy
very
birthday to me yesterday.
That's very funny. Happy birthday, man.
Yes.
Yesterday was your birthday.
It was my second birthday.
Yes.
Yesterday was exactly 20 years since I left rehab.
Wow.
On 4th February 2001.
Wow. 20 years sober.
20 years sober.
Have you ever had an episode, a thought, maybe stressed?
I actually had 3 relapses in 2001. The first one was 4 months after I left rehab. But that was it.
But then what, I mean, that's a very good answer because that leads me to ask. Because people ask about relapses and they say, what brought you back to the right track?
You see, addiction, we say, is cunning, baffling, and powerful. You justify. So my thing was, I'm going to the Changa Dens etc. where I used to drink to talk to the guys I was drinking with to fish them out, so to speak. Forgetting what I was told, those people are more than you. It is easier for them to pull you back than for you to pull them out. But if you just continue with your life and they're seeing how your life has changed, then you attract them to you.
And by your own actions and works.
Yes, so it is safer. But I said, I've got this thing, I'll never drink again, blah, blah, blah. So I went. And within, I think, a week, I was drinking again. And it took me like 4 months to come out. In fact, I remember there was a time I was drinking one of the bars on Chaka Road. I won't mention the name, but once I say Chaka Road.
We can figure it out.
And I had guys whispering, DSCA. So a guy comes, he asks me, so you had written a very nice article in Nation, how you stopped drinking. I said, yes, that was me. And then what is this you are drinking? I said, now, the story of that time when I had stopped drinking the Mulisoma. Now for this one, can you go back to your table? I'm not disturbing you. Wait for.
For the new story. Yeah.
So what happened, eventually, as I saw I am going back, slowly.
Sliding back to the usual.
To right back where I had come from, which is hell.
Yeah.
I simply reapplied. You see? Because now it was convincing me slowly, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a heavy drinker, but as long as I go home, sleeping out was the problem. See what. So you keep pushing.
Yeah.
Until finally the time when I'm passing, I stay in Langata, I'm heading home, it's 6 in the morning, the sun is up. And by that time, I had convinced myself sleeping out was the problem. So as long as I don't sleep out, I'm okay. So the sun is up, I've slept out. My phone is in a den somewhere where I have to pay double the money I drank by 2 p.m. Or it's gone, 600 bob, and I drank for 300 bob. So I told myself, now I'm alcoholic. Now I don't need to be convinced again. And as long as I'm sober, I will buy 100 phones. And as you can see, I'm well on the way. So it is simply applying. People ask me, don't you, like we have a museum with bottles of alcohol, other drugs, full. Don't you get tempted when you look at these things, etc.? But I say in the house, you have, most of us have various kinds of poison, rat poison, jig, things you cannot drink safely. So to me, I have simply added alcohol to that list of poison. Can I drink jig? Yes. Can I drink rat poison? Yes. Can I drink alcohol? Yes. But can I drink them safely? No. So I cease to bother trying.
Yeah, you reach a point where you, interestingly, there's alcohol in my house, by the way.
Yes.
And people come and drink.
Yes.
But I don't.
But you don't.
It's very interesting.
Now,
I think you get to a point where it becomes like another commodity that is.
In fact, we need to do a show. You've had this issue of they want to ban quarters and half bottles.
Yes.
Selling quantities of less than
1 liter or 750.
Yes, so it's even, if it's even beers, 350 ml bottles and so on. You want to ban all these. I think they want minimum Mzinga 750 ml. Now, they banned mini packs. Did that stop? Did drinking decrease?
I remember mini packs.
Or increase?
25.
That's sachets, yes.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
easy
Yes.
to carry and handy.
Yes, but now you see somebody walking with a bottle of so-called maybe mineral water. That thing is 3/4 vodka, 1/4 water. And so even me, I would have come with it. I put it here very nicely, and I'm talking about the badness of alcohol. I'm swiggy. Young people will changa because you're saying it's expensive. There are young people who buy very expensive spirits, very expensive. A bottle costing 5, 6, 7, 8,000 bob.
True.
And they buy. And it's not one bottle they are buying. They're buying several. But what is happening to the fellow who buys a quarter and keeps in his house and drinks like a tot? Now you're forcing him to buy mzinga. Him, how he was controlling himself was he was just buying that small one, he rations. Maybe even for a month. Now you're forcing him to buy a big bottle, it's there. Do you think he's just going to be looking at it and still saying, okay, this one, if I was drinking a quarter in a week, now this is
his consumption will go up.
It will go up. And you're still not solving the problem.
Yeah, and we'll come to that.
Yeah.
It's interesting stats
people
that
don't have, when people have run out of ideas.
Yeah.
They need to
now we're talking about this issue of banning of schools and addiction, and asking whether there's a correlation. Let me start with that question right there. Is there a correlation or not?
There is with drug use.
Yes.
And here I've not even reached abuse. We're talking about use. Yes.
Why would you say that?
First, how long have kids been away from school?
9 months before.
Yes. And in these 9 months, that it's not a normal shutdown like a holiday, which is anticipated and planned for. This was caught everybody pants down. And here I mean the parents. So schools are usually a safe place. So I'm transferring from the house, even if it's a day school, I'm transferring from one place with the controls and timetables and structure to another place where I'm going to spend a couple of hours, then come back. And so I'm supposed to be in every 24 hours between these two places. So that even if I go out to have fun or whatever, it is in a structured manner. Parents are asking, where are you going? I'm going out with who? And to do what? We're going what? We are coming. So it's all structured. Suddenly, parents have lost jobs. They are scrambling to, kids staying at home is an expense they are not anticipated. Because it is an expense. They're eating more, they're not, and kawaida they would be in school. So the parents have no time to structure the child's day. They're too busy trying to deal with this crisis called COVID-19. So the kids are basically on their own. Now some parents, because now there's no income, these kids are going to go selling groundnuts and other things. But most times these kids are going to go, they are saying now, border patrol is not there. Both the school one and the whatever, we are free at last. These are adolescents, don't forget. They go out and get intoxicated. And you are seeing how many cases. If the COVID restrictions, we are arresting from the ordinary mwananchi, 2 policemen, 2 even senators drinking.
One was even the chair of COVID-19 measures.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Getting arrested while doing what? Getting intoxicated.
Yeah.
That is why I'm using that word.
Yeah, and of course we had the stories of those young people in houses and house parties.
Intoxication.
And those estate things that guys were going for exercise in the morning that was not exercise.
Yes. So some are taking advantage of that to misuse kids, make pornographic videos and so on, or sell them alcohol, because it's a business.
So you say definitely there is a correlation.
There's a correlation.
Now, to what end are we banning schools?
Yes.
What's the thing? Are we running away from exams? People say it's a fear of exams. Others say, it's a...
Now, here's the thing. You hear we were to watch TV, soccer, or whatever it was.
Yes, I saw that.
And suddenly that is changed. And you have a riot on your hands.
Yeah.
Now, again...
And surprisingly,
yes,
some of the children who are even rioting can't even watch that soccer in their own homes.
Yes.
I mean, it's Premier League soccer.
Yes.
How many people do actually have access to DSTV?
Exactly.
you know.
But
And
it is a clique. It is a clique who knows if you ban the dormitories or you cause a riot, even, forget even banning, you'll be sent home, which is the whole point. I'm not ready. I want to go home. There's a kid who committed suicide. Allegedly, it was in one of the local papers because he was used to work, and this is a primary school kid, was used to working, making his money. Suddenly, you are telling him to go back to school. He didn't want. He wanted to continue being an entrepreneur. So he committed suicide. So it's a small clique. I remember when President Kenyatta one died, I was in Form 5 and kind of not prepared for exams. So kind of was hoping there'll be 1 year mourning with no schools.
1 year.
Except in our time. Except in our time because of discipline and so on. And discipline on both sides.
Yeah.
The parents and the teachers.
Yes.
We would not think of even banning a school. Why is it kids? And remember there was a spate of school bannings a few years back.
Yeah.
So once one group, you know, people always forget, monkey see, monkey do. This is core human nature. So once school bans, students get sent home. So the others see Allah. See, now there's nobody who has died who they can be mourning for 1 year and we are sent home, but we can create our own crisis. So they ban and they are sent home. So another clique sees pass. That is how we will solve our problem. Find some excuse. But again, there's too little time allowed for extracurricular. You know these simple sayings we have in life, all play and no work.
Next job.
I mean, all work and no play,
makes
Jack a dull boy.
Yes.
You know, these are very simple swords we have. But if you look at them, they came from a reason. And it's all mental health stuff. A kid cannot just read, emphasize on exams. Recently we had this case of the pilot who forged his KCSE papers, but has been flying for 8 years.
Yeah, I thought he's a very sharp guy.
Yes, I also still want to be a pilot. You see, a private pilot, PPL.
Me too.
Yes.
I mean, who died?
No, I enrolled in a college at Wilson, and my father grounded me because of my drinking. He said he will not pay any company when I come tumbling out of the sky with their plane. And
the passengers.
And I was grounded. You see, but here's the case: too much emphasis. This guy has flown for 8 years. Those are hundreds of hours with no incident. Now we are busy focused. Yes, he forged his KCSE, fine, but to get his pilot's license, it's a very rigorous process, starting with the medical.
Yeah.
Which if you don't
pass means that medical, some work he put in.
He put in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mental work.
Yes.
Calculating for navigation and what he passed.
And we are not advocating here for going through the
But
the wrong end.
The point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Our talents are varied, not limited to academic, okay? Yeah. And some of the talents, if you look at them, are actually needing some part of academics at a very high level. So a guy goes, he builds a car and drives it from scraps. And you are told, if we catch you again without a license and CGI cabs and CGI what certification, yet here we are importing even toothpicks. A guy flies a plane, builds a plane from scrap and flies it. He's told, if we catch you again, we'll arrest you. The Wright brothers who started flights, well, kind of.
What license did they have?
What license did they have? And flew for like 100 meters and crashed.
Look, with all this, with what you're saying, it's leading up to even our educational curriculum and the way we approach things.
Yes.
What are we saying? Are we saying that, with the banning of schools, there are certain factors that are not being considered that are to do with not just the mental and well-being of a student, but also with their abilities and the manners in which they might be able to use their talents? Is there too much emphasis
on academics?
On academics.
Too much emphasis on academics, one. Two, How many schools allow their kids to read even novels or motivational books or autobiographies, etc.? In other words, non-academic books. You are punished.
Yeah.
No, it's not allowed. Then we complain, Kenyans don't have a reading culture. But immediately you leave school, but you beat out reading from me.
But
only
it's also in our
books.
parents as well.
Yeah. You see?
I remember when I was growing up,
Yes.
you could not touch any other book. My father would skin you.
But as we were reading. So again, it depends on how we are nurturing this reading culture. Because reading is what equalizes everyone.
Okay, we read the Tintins and the Enid
Then you are reading.
Blytons
Then you are
and
reading.
the Hardy Boys.
Then you are reading.
You know.
Why are you saying you aren't reading? Then you are reading. Extracurricular.
Yeah.
Two,
And
why do we have games? All this energy, you can't just sit the way we are sitting, morning to evening.
This
You are
time
in
has no
class,
games, by
you
the
have
way.
evening preps, you have early morning preps, then you are going to class, then you have...
this time has no games.
Yes.
My daughter is in Form 4. No
Yes,
games.
no games.
No extracurricular, no singing or or drama or anything like that.
No.
And it has no visitation.
Now, my friend, once you do that, you are asking for trouble. And it just takes a small thing. We were to watch TV, whatever, Premier League, whatever, or we were shown movies on Saturday, you cancel. And you have a riot. That is the proverbial straw breaking the camel's back. Then you are now adding the drugs, drug use. 9 months, we have been getting intoxicated. Suddenly, we are going back, no more intoxication. 9 months, we have been doing whatever we want. Parents were too busy to supervise, mostly. They're trying to survive. Houses are being locked. Jobs are being lost. Okay? But even if your house has not been locked, will you be able to sleep if you're hungry? You can sleep on the street if your house has been locked, but your stomach is full. You'll be put even in Kempinski, you won't sleep if you're hungry.
True.
And you are in the whatever suite. So they are back. Suddenly, discipline. And parents, remember, they were pushing Magoa. Open the schools, open the school. Magoa is saying no. Dead children cannot read. Okay? Now, when you know, I've been following this debate on schools and how Magoa is being pushed. So when Magoa now goes to open schools, saying, no, it's too early, doing what, social distance, what is the structure? Magoa was appointed the other day. The system he found our schools are in and the whole school education setup is a mess of 60 years. Okay? It's a mess of 60 years. Then you plonk me in the middle of it. You give me a car which hasn't moved for 60 years, parts have been plucked, etc. Then you're wondering why I'm not moving you from point A to point B. He's working with what he has. A blanket which is 50% full of holes. He's trying to stitch those holes as fast as possible. You're expecting, why can't he get a new blanket? With what money? With what money? All these things need money.
True.
Okay? True. So working with what he has, he is making the best of a bad situation. Now, instead of criticizing, and criticism is good, but say, don't do it like this because of this. Why don't you try doing it like this because of this if we want to achieve
this? And that's the question I want to ask. I want to take a break, and when we come back, I want us to talk about what should we do given the current situation so that we can stem the process. Or is it too late? You know, is it a domino effect? We're already banning, so it's like the proverbial, what's it called?
Don't forget, banning is not a new thing.
Well, it didn't really happen in my time, to be very honest. It was very rare.
No, my time, it wasn't there.
It was very rare. It was,
but a few years back, 4 or 5 years ago, there was this spree.
There was,
banning.
Even in the early 2000s, there was.
Yes. In fact, these guys haven't caught up. They still have a long way to go. Not that I'm advocating.
We'll take a break on that note. We're talking with David Ogot. Don't go away, we'll be right back.